Hey everyone, Mah-Dry-Bread here. Followed 4 with only VATS was a really fun change of pace. Let's follow that up with something old and yet something new. Today's the day that we figure out would I be able to beat Pokemon Heart Gold with a team of only one Ledyba? First of all, yeah, this is my first Heart Gold challenge. People have been asking forever why I haven't done one yet, and the honest answer is that I've always meant to. I just forgot to write down that I should every time that I'm picking out the next few challenges. Yes, that is genuinely the reason. I'm basically a genius. So, we're Ledyba, a bug and flying type with super low attack and defense. I mean, our health and special attack are also super low, but our attack is much worse. Our only good stat is our special defense, if you could call that good. By level up we learn a few cool moves, but it's front-loaded with all the physical ones that we're gonna be terrible with. Silver Wind at level 25 and Bug Buzz at level 41 are both special and bug type, so they're probably going to be our main moves. By TM, we don't really get much that we want. Dig could give us some kind of type coverage, but it's physical. In fact, pretty much anything good we can learn is physical, so the main TM that I'm interested in is Roost. We'll get it pretty early, and weirdly enough, we can learn it, so I think we probably will. Maybe Swords Dance, but our attack is so awful that it might not be worth it. Like always, I'm writing the script as I go through with the challenge, so all of this part is being written before I've started. Everyone comment down below and guess if I can win or not. I'm honestly not sure. I don't really remember Heart Gold very well, and the last time I beat this game without a randomizer would have been back when it was new in 2009. Let's explain the rules. In combat, I can only use Ledyba. I'll need other Pokemon to use HMs, but I won't be allowed to use any of those Pokemon in battle. No glitches or exploits, no items in battle, only Pokeballs, held items, and items outside of combat are allowed. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let's do this. Oh, and I know I'm gonna get comments on this, so I guess I'll just address it now. Everyone wondering if I sound like I'm sick, because everyone always asks. No, I just woke up. I decided that I would wake up on voiceover day and get up, brush my teeth, and then go immediately to the recording booth. This is not sick voice. This is morning voice, MDB. Oh, and if it sounds like I can't breathe through my nose, it's just an average day of living for me. So right off the bat, I used the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Chikorita with Ledyba so that we can do the whole run with him. I picked to replace Chikorita so that our rival would have Typhlosion, probably the hardest for us to fight. I name him Dusty, since the shell reminds me of polka dots. Our nature is bashful, so neutral stat gains. Our ability is Early Bird, so we wake up early from sleep. That's not bad. I kind of prefer Swarm, so we could do more damage with bug moves when we're on low health, but I'm not going to restart forever until I get Swarm and a decent nature, because this took long enough as is. So early travel was actually pretty slow. We're using one of the weakest things you can find at the start of the game, so I guess that's kind of to be expected. It's kind of like the start of any run with some frail start of the game Pokemon. We have to keep going back and forth between the Poke Center and the first couple routes over and over to gain experience to start leveling. We don't learn our first good moves until level 25, so I just want to hit level 9 to get Comet Punch, then we can make some progress. It sucks, but it might still work better than Tackle. This is Gen 4, so Tackle is only 35 power. As soon as we get it, I totally demolish the first rival fight. I don't normally talk about this one in these runs since it's so often very easy, but I couldn't remember if they had a fire move here or not, because, you know, Heart Gold, some stuff is different. If they did, it would have been a problem, but they didn't, so it wasn't. I have no idea why I'm talking about this, now that I think about it. Next, I went over to Bellsprout Tower. We're bug and flying, so we actually double resist Bellsprout's Vine Whip, so this seems like a natural place to get some experience before the Flying Gym. They can't do more than 1 damage to us, so this place was perfect, went real smooth. The Flying Gym right after didn't go so well. So we've got Reflect, and that's pretty awesome. The Pidgey can't really hurt us, but we just never landed a hit for ages. It loves spamming Sand Attack, so naturally we become useless. Even once we take it down, Pidgeotto has Gust, so he's still dealing around 11 damage per hit. I'm actually gonna have to grind for Falconer's Flying Gym. That's rare. The grind here isn't bad, but man, was it slow for an early game grind. We don't really hit hard at all. Our best stat is special defense, and that doesn't exactly help us that much early in the game. I'm hoping that maybe by level 20 we'll be able to just take out Pidgey fast before we get Sand Attacked. I really don't want to have to grind to level 25 to get Silverwind before the first gym. At level 20, after a bunch of attempts, we get lucky on this one and take Pidgey down before he could use Sand Attack thanks to a crit. Problem is, Pidgeotto crit us right after, so we lost a lot of health. We were going back and forth for a while, and I thought with a bit of luck that we could win, but then he started healing with a Roost, and it was all over. We really do need to hit level 25 for Silverwind before the first gym. We're just too weak. It's not that strong, they resist it, and it only has 5 power points, but at least it's a special attack, and we get the same type attack bonus. Maybe we'll get saved by a stat boost? Who knows? Okay, level 25. We crit with Silverwind to one-shot Pidgey, so we got to fight Pidgeotto early. We kept spamming Silverwind till we ran out of power points since he kept holding on with Roost. I was skeptical about if we could win or not, but we landed a Comet Punch that hit 4 times to get a lucky win. As soon as I beat the Flying Gym, I get the TM for Roost. I'm gonna hold on to that for a little while before I use it. I still need most of my attacking moves right now. We have to head south to Union Cave to fight the final boss, Hiker Russell. After that is Slowpoke Well and the Bug Gym. Yeah, the Bug Gym might actually be a problem. We don't have any good moves for that. Not that that's a new problem. Oh yeah, Will I Travel. You know how I could never get the auto fire buttons working with Pokemon Platinum, but they would work in the same emulator with Pokemon Black and Pokemon Black 2? Yeah, for some reason they don't work in Heart Gold either, so I'm just mashing my way through. I've got a Platinum run planned for next week too, so pour one out for the health of both my controller and my thumb. So, Pokemon Champion Russell wasn't too bad. Mach Punch swept him. Honestly, I was just worried they'd survive and use something like Rock Throw. We have a double weakness to rock moves. That's going to be a real problem if we run into it, and we probably will. Slowpoke Well is a lot bigger in Heart Gold, but it's still pretty easy. We don't do much damage, but they don't either, so it kind of equals out. We do have a lot more health than them because of our level lead, so that's the main reason why it's not too bad. Our moves really suck though, and we don't get a great one until level 41 when we get Bug Buzz. Let's just hope that the Bug Gym isn't too bad. Right away, I used Reflect for defense as she used Focus Energy. The first Silverwind activates the full stat increase, as Scyther hits Leer to drop our defense back down to, I guess, normal. The Comet Punches weren't doing much, but a lucky crit still helped, as she kept using Leer. Next, we got Crit by Quick Attack to take out half our health. It was getting close when we finally took her out with Comet Punch. Metapod never landed a hit, of course, but Kakuna was really dangerous. Poison Sting poisoned us right after we brought her to a sliver, then she fully healed back up. As we took her down, we were poisoned and on our last point of health. That was way too close. Next is the rival fight. It was instantly a disaster, as Ghastly takes 3 hits to make faint, but often uses Spite to make us run out of power points on the only move that hits him. Alright, that's an issue. A few tries later, and we get this one where he just used Mean Look and Lick, so we got an easy win. Sweet. Next was Quilava, and I instantly wasn't dealing much damage and got hit by Smokescreen. I thought I would be doomed, but we started landing Comet Punches easily despite multiple Smokescreens, including a 5-hit combo that demolished him. Well, that was lucky. Last was Zubat, and he could hardly hurt us, so we took him out. Well, that was a way better attempt. Hey look, the forest is a little different. It's been a long time since I played this version, I don't really remember this. Anyway, I'm still kind of fighting most of the trainers I run into, we just need the experience that badly. The sooner we can hit level 41, the better. We have Whitney's normal gym coming up, and her Miltank's legendary rollout is a rock-type move. We have low defense, and are double weak to rock, so we can't really afford to deal with that. Miltank is fast, and hits pretty hard, and has Milk Drink. It's probably going to be a disaster. Yeah, so I tried at level 30, but it's not happening. Clefairy didn't hurt us thanks to 2 Mach Punches getting the knockout, but Miltank is a monster. We hardly hurt her, she steamrolled us. Even with Reflect, it just does so much damage. I tried again with a different strategy, but so did she. I decided to use Silverwind instead, and she used Attract and Milk Drink. We were doing a bit more damage with Silverwind, but we lost so many turns to Attract that it didn't matter. I'll have to come back stronger. 4 levels later, and we just crit the first Silverwind, while also getting the full stats boost. She starts rollout, and then we easily finished her off. That was all luck, but I'll take it. With that done, we can go to the Kimono Girls Dance Hall to pick up the HM for Surf, since we'll be using that soon. While I'm here, this is a great time to talk about this episode's sponsor, Chimera. So I don't know about where you live, but where I live, the sun has finally come back. It's been weird, lots of flip-flopping between the dead of winter and kind of nice spring weather. You know what's great to wear in both winter and spring weather? Hoodies. Chimera's got two different styles of hoodies, and both are awesome. First are the zip-up hoodies. These are the kinds I tend to go for. It's exactly what you think, a nice looking zip-up hoodie with pockets in the front to keep you warm. Naturally, it feels fantastic to wear, and it keeps you at the perfect temperature where you won't get cold unless it's really cold, and you won't overheat unless it's really hot. It's basically exactly what I look for in a hoodie. If you're more into pullover hoodies though, then they've got those too. In fact, they've got a huge variety of them, coming in 9 different colors. Whatever one you go with, they'll keep you warm this winter. But if you hate hoodies and want to stay warm and fashionable, then you could get into the quarter zip sweatshirt, or maybe the layered kangaroo pocket sweatshirt, but whoa, I don't want to overload you all in one ad. Once you've mentally recovered from all the info of amazing deals I've crammed into your head, maybe you should browse your way on over to Chimera's site to see for yourself. Link in the description. So if you want to support the channel and look good while doing it, then hit up the link in the description to go to Chimera and pick up something warm to wear this winter. If you're going to go pick something up, then make sure to use the promo code Mah-Dry-Bread at checkout for 10% off of your order, and to let them know that I sent you. We've got a rival fight next. Wish me luck. So in Heart Gold, you actually have to do the rival fight in Burnt Tower, kind of like you have to in Crystal, so we've got an extra fight here. Problem is, we're not ready. We hardly hurt Ghastly, so he gets to use Curse on us, and we're just doomed for the rest of the fight. That had me worried because after this fight is the Ghost Gym, where his whole team is Poison type. I need a new move that can hit ghosts. I'd get Dig, but his team has Levitate, so that's not gonna work. While I travel a bit, let's look at my move list. So I can't do Dig since it won't hit, and I can't do Thief because that's not till Rocket Hideout, and I can't get there until I can fight the Red Water Onyx on the lake. Can't surf without Morty's badge either, and that's the Ghost Gym leader. Can't get Aerial Ace yet, and grass moves wouldn't be any stronger. I think our only choices are Bug Buzz that we learn at level 41, and maybe Hidden Power? Well, never mind. I went to go get Hidden Power, but it looks like you need to get Surf for that in Heart Gold. Man, I'm gonna just have to hit level 41, get Bug Buzz, and Brute Force it. Let's just hope that Bug Buzz works. Wow, even with Bug Buzz, our rival fight goes awful. We still don't hit super hard, and Curse just destroys us. I really wish I could get Aerial Ace, just because 10 Bug Buzz power points won't be enough for the whole fight of the Ghost Gym, but I don't have a choice, I'll just have to keep trying. Next time we luck out, with it only taking 2 hits of Bug Buzz to take out Ghastly, and he wasted his time with Mean Look. Quilava took a little less than half his health and damage from Bug Buzz, as his first Fire Wheel didn't do that much, and our next hit crit to take him out early. Magnemite was agonizingly close to being a one-shot, but he confused us, so we had to finish him off with Mach Punch. Last was Zubat, and we thankfully snapped out of confusion fast and took it out in a couple of hits. Think we're ready for the Ghost Gym yet? Because I don't. Yep, that's what I thought. I tried the Ghost Gym, but it went awful. We didn't run out of power points, but we probably would have if we didn't end up fainting. You know what, I'm gonna go to Mount Mortar and look for the Aerial Ace TM and get some levels while I'm in there. Maybe it's somewhere accessible, I don't really remember. I was fairly sure that when I was researching earlier I need Surf for it. Nope, never mind. Turns out that the TM is in the part of the mountain that we can't get to without Surf and Waterfall. So even if I could Surf, I still wouldn't be able to get this until like the end of the game. I guess I have to grind. So, grinding at this point is pretty slow, and that's not good, because I think I'm gonna have to be doing this for a little while. I've already cleared out all the trainers that I could from the local routes, Lighthouse and Mount Mortar, so I guess it's just wild Pokemon left. I have to level up a lot, though. We need to get strong enough that we can beat his whole team with 10 power points. Didn't this happen recently on a gold challenge? I have a vague memory of having to win that fight with 10 power points as well. I think it was a grass Pokemon? I'm blanking as I write this. Anyway, we can't get any silver powder to power up our bug moves, so that's not an option. I got a Quick Claw off a Sandshrew that I caught to use HMs earlier, but I'm probably faster than everything anyway, so it's not really gonna help us. It could be worth finally replacing Reflect with Roost so that we can last longer, but we still need to have enough special attack for us to beat his whole team without running out of Bug Buzz. You know, I've never looked up the Heart Gold PowerPoint locations, only the regular gold ones. Maybe there's extra ones I can reach? Okay, after a little research, it looks like I can get one on the Moo Moo farm. This is the only one that we can get before Surf. I'll take whatever I can get. Bug Buzz is going to be our best move the whole run, and this gives us a couple more power points to work with. I tried again at level 45. Right away we just got cursed though. I keep trying, but we hardly hurt Gengar, and even on a crit, he just healed with the berry. We're not ready yet. My very next try at the Ghost Gym went a lot better, but we still lost to Gengar. Part of that was because we got a special defense drop on us though, but we never dropped his special defense in return. I bet we could try more till we get that to happen. We can only get this far on lucky runs where Ghastly doesn't curse us, lose power points with Spite, or paralyzes us with Lick. Ghastly ruins a lot of our attempts. Now believe it or not, on the very next try we almost won. With just a few special defense drops, we dealt tons of damage. Between that and some luck with Hypnosis missing a bunch, and we were doing great. Problem is, we were exactly 1 power point short of beating Haunter at the end. That's brutal. Maybe with one last grind, we can get strong enough to win? Alright, I'm gonna time-lapse this whole next attempt. We one-shot Ghastly at the start, so I thought we'd win for sure, but we ended up getting cursed by one of the Haunters. Because of that, we had to spend tons of time healing with Roost. We could have won with slightly better luck, but in the end, I ended up using every single Roost, and I still lost. I just have to keep trying. After tons of tries, I realized I need to grind a bit more, since the luck required to win was just insane at level 55. After a brutal 8 more tries at level 58, we got this close win where we make it all the way to the last Haunter. He uses Curse, then a Hyper Potions back up, and we have just enough health to finish the fight. Finally, we're making some progress again. I guess the next stop is the Fighting Gym. That shouldn't be too hard, we double resist fighting. The Steel Gym right after might be a problem though. I'm sure the Magnemites will be one-shots, but Steelix might be a problem. So, we instantly lost the Fighting Gym. Turns out Primeape has Rock Slide. That's no good. I mean, it misses reasonably often. I could probably just keep trying. Okay, next try and I just knock him out before he uses Rock Slide. Perfect. Next up is Poliwrath, so that took us an entire minute to beat. He didn't hit super hard, but we got paralyzed and that ruined everything. Not only that, but we just couldn't seem to get any special defense drops on him, so we could hardly hurt him, and he had Hyper Potions. In the end, we just hardly won. If that's how hard the Fighting Gym was, I'm skeptical about if we could handle the Steel Gym. So, what you're watching is my best of 12 attempts at the Steel Gym. I thought the Magnemites would be easy, and I couldn't have been more wrong. I almost never get past them. We just get paralyzed every single time, and even with a Quick Claw to occasionally make us go first, we lose tons of turns. Plus, their Thunderbolt does a lot of damage. I'm actually going to have to level up more until I can one-shot them. This is rough. Well, at least I can go do the Rocket Hideout for levels now that we can use Surf. I cleared the whole place out just to get it out of the way. I may as well try for the Ice Gym right after, right? We're weak to ice, but it's also typically an easier gym than the Steel Gym, so let's go see how that goes. Okay, first up was Seal, who was super easy, but managed to lower our speed a little bit. I hope that doesn't end up being an issue. Hey, at least we got him to use a Hyper Potion on his least dangerous Pokemon. Dugong's next, and he didn't really do much before we took him down either. Last was Piloswine, and although we did good damage, he had a berry to heal with. I thought we would go down to something like Blizzard since he was making it hail, but our next Bug Buzz crit to take him down. That was pretty easy. We're still not ready for the Steel Gym though. I tried a few more times, but Thunderbolt just destroys us very fast. We probably need to be closer to level 70 just to beat the Magnemites in one hit. At level 68, we still couldn't one-shot them, so I replaced Mach Punch with Drain Punch. It's still pretty weak, but is just hardly strong enough to one-shot the Magnemites. It was useless against Steelix, but Bug Buzz did decent damage thanks to her low special defense, and her rock throws weren't that bad while we were healing, because Roost removes our flying type for the rest of the turn while we use it. It took a while, but we finally won. Next up is the Radio Tower Takeover. This is a little different in Heart Gold version, but the idea is still the same. Lots of rocket grunts to fight. Like usual, this place isn't hard, but the rival fight here is usually a big one, so let's go cover that. First is Golbat, who instantly crit us with Air Cutter. We took him down, but not without losing a bunch of health to Air Cutter and Confusion first. We hit ourselves in confusion twice and got crit twice, so naturally we had to heal up before we finished him off, but in the end it was okay. Koalava did some decent damage too, so I had to heal up more, but in the process we lost accuracy to Smokescreen before taking him down. That's not good. Magnemite was a one-shot with Drain Punch, and next was Sneasel, who was a one-shot with Bug Buzz. I mean, after we missed the first one, and he missed the first Icy Wind, and then we missed the second Bug Buzz, and then he hit the second Icy Wind, so you know, speed is down a little. Last is Haunter, who we instantly crit, and he just used Mean Look, so we finished him off quickly. All that's left now is the path to the Dragon Gym, and I'm not sure how that's gonna go. I remember Claire being harder in this version than in regular Gold. I know she starts with Water Onyx, so our attack will be down the whole fight. Also, this version doesn't have the whole mechanic where the AI status affliction moves can randomly miss, so we're for sure gonna get paralyzed by Thunder Wave. I might have to grind again. Right away at the Dragon Gym, Claire opens with Water Onyx, so our attack is down from Intimidate. We ended up having kind of a long fight with it because it kept using Dragon Rage, so we had to use Roost a bit to heal back up. It wasn't too bad, but it did take a while thanks to her healing items. Problem is, next is Dragonair, who we couldn't one-shot and who paralyzes us with Thunder Wave. Then we got obliterated by some Fire Blasts while paralyzed. We kept hanging on with Roost, but it did take forever to take down Dragonair. Next was yet another Dragonair, and although it did take a while, we did manage to hang on the same way. Last was Kingdra, and although she wasn't dealing crazy damage, we weren't either. We nearly took her down, but she hardly hung on, and we don't go first thanks to paralysis, so we couldn't finish it. So close. 3 levels later and things go pretty much the same getting to Kingdra. I wasn't feeling good about it. Like before, we lost accuracy right away, but our Bug Buzz did a little bit more this time, so she ate a berry early. I nearly took her out on the follow-up, but she used a Hyper Potion while I hit with Swift. We lucked out and Hydro Pump missed while we healed with Roost, but then she hit us twice, and we missed our first Bug Buzz, but the second one put her in red health. Her Hyper Beam took us to red health, we were fully paralyzed, but then we managed to attack while she was missing her turn from Hyper Beam, and we got the win. All that's left is the last bit of travel before the final rival fight, then we have the Elite Four. I'm honestly not feeling great about my chances. I forgot just how much tougher the gym leaders are in Heart Gold than in regular Gold. I could see the Pokemon Champion fight being awful considering he has all flying types and that resists Bug. I'm not feeling confident. Oh, but before we can do that though, I have to actually go fight the Kimono Girls. In Gold you do this earlier, but in this version, you have a Team Rocket fight there. They're actually kind of hard and we lost to a Flareon a couple times, but eventually we won. After that we go to Bell Tower. In this game you actually have to go encounter the Box Legendary before you're allowed to go to the Elite Four. Weird, right? While I'm exploring this place, this is a great time to do this episode's Q&A thingy, where I read a few of your questions. Alright, I'm gonna go find some. Question 1 is by Frosty Fire, who wants to know what is the most difficult part technically about making these Pokemon Challenge videos. I'm guessing they mean like the hardest part of the video production rather than the challenge itself. For sure the voiceover. Obviously I'm super comfortable doing voiceovers since I've been doing them for slightly over half my life now. I'm just terrible at reading a script out loud. I trip over my words a lot. I'm much better when doing improvised commentary, like I do on the streams and the Let's Plays, which I've done, what, like 6,000 or so Let's Play videos by now, so of course I'm a lot more comfortable with that. So the voiceover is the hardest part because there are just so many flubs that I have to edit out, and it takes me quite a while. It's why I like whenever I get to ad-lib in the script like this, because I'm way better at it. Other than that, the post-production isn't too bad. I just do all the editing and everything by myself, and I'm really well practiced at it. Now for question 2. Joaquin says, do you ever get sick of Pokemon games due to all the times you have to replay them for these challenges? I love Pokemon myself, but if I had to complete Pokemon Emerald over 10 times in a year, I would go insane. Well, that checks out, since some people already think I am insane for what I do. Honestly, I'm not that sick of Pokemon. It's not my favorite game series, but I do really enjoy the games, and I've been playing them since Red and Blue first came out in English. I never got sick of them growing up, and I'm not sick of them now that playing them is basically my job. Then again, I'm the guy who did a minimum of 1 video a day for 10 years without having, like, a team to help me. I might just not get sick of things easily. I can eat basically the same food every single day for weeks on end and not have any problems with it. I pretty much eat homemade butter chicken every single day. It's not the only thing that I eat, but it's so good. Alright, that was fun. A lot of you are suggesting names for the Q&A segment so that you can include that in the comment to make it easier for me to search for, but I'm still kind of undecided on which one to go for. I'll let you know if I settle on one next time. Keep the questions coming though, I like them. Anyway, I have a Master Ball, so I just catch Ho-Oh and give him a new fitting name. There we go. Now learn the HM and let me do my quest. Rival time. Sneasel was a one-shot with Bug Buzz, but Typhlosion was more dangerous. Bug Buzz still did alright damage, but man did Lava Plume ever mess us up. We won the fight, but we were just above red health. Golbat is next, and this takes a while. Naturally, we opened with Roost a bunch, but he loves critting to keep us having to heal. We ended up taking him down while our health was high though, so at least we recovered. Magneton was a two-shot, but he managed to confuse us. Next was Haunter, and right away I was worried because he used Curse, then we hit ourselves in Confusion. Next turn, we snapped out of Confusion, and I started healing because Curse hurts a ton. I finished him off, but we're in bad shape. Last is Kadabra, and I'm in red health, so I just went for Bug Buzz, landing the one shot on the last turn before Curse would have taken us down. That was so close. Alright, now that we're at the Elite Four, let's take a look at our stats. Wow. That's a lot more lopsided than I was expecting. The special defense is pretty cool, but the special attack is brutally low. Maybe we can make it partway into the Elite Four, but I don't even know if I can make it past Koga, to be honest. Make your final guesses on if we can win this or not. Let's do this. First is Psychic Trainer Will. This was a great start to the Elite Four, but that's pretty much what I figured. Bug is pretty good against most of their team. I'm worried about the next fight, though. Second is Poison Trainer Koga. This didn't last long though, since we were forced to just use Swift and it wasn't doing much. You know what? I have Surf now. Let's just go get the Aerial Ace TM and try this again. So I tried again with Aerial Ace, and although things went much better, Crobat was still a monster. Wing Attack does tons of damage to us, and Aerial Ace is still weak thanks to our terrible attack stat. It's nice that it doesn't miss since he uses Double Team sometimes, but the damage is so bad that we still lost. Yeah, we got a lucky crit, but I think it's safe to say that we couldn't win at this level. I'll just grind a bit by fighting Will over and over. Here's our attempt at level 89. We managed to finally beat Crobat thanks almost entirely to a lucky crit and it never using a full restore. Venomoth was a one-shot, next was Fortress. This thing took forever to take down since it spams Protect, but we were never in danger of it taking us out, so eventually we won. Last was Muck, and I thought it was going to go great as it kept using Minimize and we have Aerial Ace, which doesn't miss, but then he hit Toxic and used Full Restore to outlast us. I can't believe we're level 90 and stuck on Koga. A few attempts later, and you've gotta see this. At level 92, we were still getting stomped by Muck. Level 93, and we got past it just fine. Man, I'm just happy I'm still making progress again. I'm getting worried that I'm not going to be able to beat Lance without insane luck. Third is Fighting Trainer Bruno. First is Hitmontop, who nearly gets one-shot with Aerial Ace, then nearly one-shots us with Counter. That could have gone better. I started using Roost, and he used a full restore. As soon as we were healthy, I just used Bug Buzz to weaken him a little bit, while his Counter missed, then Aerial Ace finished him off. Not the best start. Onyx was a one-shot with Bug Buzz, Hitmonlee was a one-shot with Aerial Ace, and so was Hitmonchan right after, although I did use him as a chance to heal back up a bit. Last was Machamp, who took great damage, then hit us with a Rock Slide that took us all the way down to only 12 health before we finished him off. That was terrifying. I thought it was done as soon as Rock Slide hit. Fourth is Dark Trainer Karen. First is Umbreon, who was a one-shot with Bug Buzz. Second was Murkrow, who I probably should have one-shot with Bug Buzz, but I used Aerial Ace instead, so it hit us with Pluck before we got the knockout. Houndoom had its potential to really mess us up, but he just used Nasty Plot and was a two-shot, so we didn't get hit. That's when it got bad. Vileplume. Right away, we got paralyzed, so although we hardly got hurt, we don't have the speed advantage anymore. That's not good. Last is Gengar, and we have a long back and forth battle where she was wasting power points with Spite, but otherwise couldn't hurt us much. I brought her to a sliver of health before she used a full restore. I thought I could still win this when she used Spite, so our aerial aces ran out while using them. Bug Buzz does less, so I started with that. When she pulled the ultimate prank on us, she used Destiny Bond, so as soon as I take her out, we go down 2 and we lose on a tie. I can't believe after all these years, this is the first time someone used a Destiny Bond strategy on us in a solo Pokemon run. Next try, and yet again we get paralyzed by Vileplume, and Gengar goes for Destiny Bond much earlier this time. This is seriously a problem. Is she always going to use this when at low health or something? Next try. We were literally going to win, but Gengar's Lick paralyzed us, making us go second on the final turn, so she used a Destiny Bond. This is insane. Okay, the very next try, and although we got to Gengar well paralyzed, a damage range made us two-shot her with Aerial Ace, and she never used Destiny Bond, so we just won. I'm not looking forward to doing that again if I have to grind for Lance. Finally, Pokemon Champion Lance. He opens with Water Onix, so our attack is down the whole fight. That's really not good. Right away, we were hardly dealing damage, and his Ice Fang froze us, so we lost. I'm gonna be honest, I'm starting to think that even at level 100, we weren't gonna be strong enough for this. His entire team resists us, and we couldn't even get close to beating his first one with our best move. Hey, at least grinding isn't bad at all. We're mopping the floor with the first few members of the Elite Four, so honestly, it doesn't take that long to top off my level. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really worried about how hard this is. I'm starting to think I may not be able to win this run. It's been a while since I lost one, but I'm struggling to think of what I can do. I can't get my hands on any items to power up bug moves. I can't learn anything super effective against flying or dragon. And even if I changed the date to get my hands on the TM for return, it would hardly be any stronger than Aerial Ace thanks to the same type attack bonus that Aerial Ace gets and return doesn't. Leftovers aren't until post-game, so I'm really struggling to see an item that can save us. Here's our stats at level 100, by the way. Yeah, level 100, and our special attack is only 101. Our attack is actually lower than 78 in this fight though, since they have Intimidate. Wish me luck. I'm gonna need it. First try at level 100 and we get frozen on the first hit. Come on, man. Second try. This time we beat Water Onix in 3 hits, although we take lots of damage. Second was Aerodactyl, who we hardly hurt, and he one-shot us with Rock Slide, a move that does 4 times damage to us, plus he has the same type attack bonus and tons of attack, and our defense is horrible. I think we just lost the challenge. Let's look at his team real quick. Water Onix is always first, so we lose attack, but we can beat him in a few hits if he doesn't freeze us. Aerodactyl can probably one-shot us from full health, and we're gonna need 3 or 4 hits to make him faint, so that's already crazy luck for Rock Slide to miss that much. Then we have 2 Dragonites who can paralyze us, and all 3 Dragonites have super effective moves against us, plus the Charizard at the end of the fight with Fire Fang. And now we look at our moves again. I'm gonna be honest, even with Double Team, I'm not sure if this is possible. Who am I gonna build up Double Team against? Water Onix while he uses Ice Fang on us? Even if that worked, my quick math says that I would need to hit their team roughly 28 times to make the whole team faint. So I'm not gonna count Water Onix since he's the one we're building up Double Team against. And assuming that everybody else can 2-shot us but Aerodactyl who can for sure 1-shot us, we'd need to make them miss about 25 times. Again, I'm not counting a Water Onix taking 3 hits. We could possibly take an occasional hit and use Roost to heal back up, but then we're giving them more chances to hit us. I've done a lot of runs where I've used 6 double teams, and having them miss 25 times in a row just doesn't happen. Even if we could pull that off though, Aerodactyl also has Aerial Ace, and that never misses, and it's super effective against us, plus we have terrible defense, and his attack is awesome, and he has the same type attack bonus. So really, we probably just can't get past Aerodactyl, let alone the rest of the team. It feels really weird to end it here, but it looks like I genuinely can't win this. I may as well just get a head start on the next Pokemon challenge since I'm kind of falling behind again. So I guess the answer to can I beat Pokemon Heart Gold with only one Ledyba is nope. But maybe you can. Let me know in the comments if you figured out a strategy that wins this fight for you, because I'm actually really curious. I'm sure somebody on Earth can figure out how to beat this. I haven't. Well, that was crazy. I knew the run would be really hard, but I didn't think I'd straight up lose. Still, I'm happy that I did it. I had some pretty fun battles. I really hope you guys like the run. The next Pokemon Challenge should probably be up next week, on Saturday like usual, with Pokemon Platinum, with only gift Pokemon. As always, I'm looking forward to your suggestions in the comments, in the challenge request section of my Discord channel, and on Twitter. Subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. Outro time. Man, I wasn't expecting to lose that one, but I don't know, that's how it happens sometimes. To be honest, I wouldn't mind losing a little bit more often, as weird as that sounds. I'm perfectly fine with doing runs where the answer is no, I couldn't figure out how to beat it. The only thing stopping that from happening more is I usually figure out a way to beat it, you know? Like, usually if you double team enough and you spend enough weeks on attempts with double team, then you'll get a win. But with that one, with the Aerial Ace and the Aerodactyl and everything, that just wasn't happening. Which is crazy, you know? But I guess the newer game that you play it in, the less tactics like that are gonna work, just because there's more abilities and more moves to kind of get around that, more item variety. I find as later games go on and on, Elite Four members tend to have a little bit smarter teams, a little bit smarter AI. Smarter AI is a big part, actually. Gen 2 AI isn't even that bad, but Heart Gold being in Gen 4, the Gen 4 AI is much better than the Gen 2 AI, so they fight smarter. That and Gen 2, a lot of the Pokemon before you beat the game are a lot weaker than in most of the games. They're lower level, they have worse moves. I say they have worse moves. Gen 1, they also have some pretty bad moves by late game, but Gen 2 especially, a lot of very weak moves, a lot of very weak Pokemon, and really it doesn't get really hard until post-game. The post-game of Gen 2, like the blue and the red fights, are actually harder than anything not post-game in like Emerald, for instance. That said, the Steven Stone fight in Emerald can be pretty rough. I would still argue that Red is probably harder than Steven Stone. I don't know. That's actually kind of hard to say, because Red in Gen 2 loves using his water moves. He'll often do this thing, I'm sure you've seen it in tons of my runs, where like Charizard and Blastoise could probably just team up, and one uses like Surf when he's alive and one uses Flamethrower when he's alive, and they would take you out. But instead, both of them just see that they can't one-shot you, and they decide to make their respective weather happen, and that just gives you a free shot in on them that can make the fight way easier. So there's stuff like that, where like if the AI was a little better, it would definitely beat you, but it's not the brightest, and so it doesn't, where I bet you that in a Heart Gold would be a lot harder. In fact, I don't even know Red's team in a Heart Gold. For all I know, he's got all different moves and a way stronger team. He probably does. So yeah, I probably couldn't even beat Blue if I were to have been able to beat Lance. And I don't really remember how strong the Kanto gym leaders are in general in Heart Gold, so for all I know, they could be like a real threat. Maybe I gotta come back to Heart Gold with a slightly better Pokemon, and maybe Kanto will be like something I really go in depth on for once, because I never really do. Most of Kanto is not worth talking about because it's such a breeze and it's kind of time consuming. Although in regular Gold, I've got that down to a science. I can get Kanto beat so fast in regular Gold now. I guess that's what 3 or 4 years now of practice will do. How long have I been doing these Pokemon challenges now? 3 or 4 years? Something like that. Time flies when you're having fun. Anyway, you know, at the beginning of this voiceover, I said like it's the first talking I was doing in the day. I just woke up. Well, here we are like an hour of voiceover later, and my stomach is a-grumbling, so I'm gonna go get myself something to eat. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.